this up first. Could somebody help me with this? A techie?
I'm not Tommy.
Thank you. I want to get in back out of that.
And I hope, do you have any flip slides for you? or whatever it
Yes.
is? Okay.
Services.
While I do that, you go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Research is personally re-investigating your theory of a truth, of the theory that is with the best sources available. There is no true truth. Everybody has a different idea, depending on what side of a war you are on, etc. Research is not just because I said so. For instance, if you step on a crack, it will not break your mother's back. Crack stepping does not break your mother's back. And your face will not freeze like this or like this. I mean, come on, where's the research? When I did, we skipped ahead, the Manteca Bulletin, September 12th, 2009, we're talking about research, so hold on here. Research. Oftentimes we will go and look at a newspaper for research. Now, Dennis, the editor of the Manteca Bulletin, knows me well enough to place a phone call to me. Everyone aware of that? So we're talking about first resources and how do you get good research. All he had to do was make a phone call. He's doing an article in Manteca about where the streets got their names, as it so states. He puts in the newspaper that real estate agent, that would be me, Kyle Tobin Williams, prior to being Kyle Wood, my name was taken apart one proper noun at a time and placed on Kyle Court, Tobin Court, and Williams Court, etc., etc. All I had to do was call me. I didn't even live there when those streets were named. I didn't live there. However, because it could serve me in the future, that I could say somehow I was famous or God only did what inappropriate thing to get those names, I let it slide. And I can use it for things like this. Just, do your research, dear newspaper. The newspapers are not always correct. So research requires even more than newspapers. Please go. This gives you some idea of what I have done with the book I am writing and nearly finished with, finally, yay, called Tilly. This gives you a little bit idea of how it's properly done. Now I have 16 pages that look like this, that go on and on and on about proper research. How do you research? Well, there's this little book. If you can see some of the sites. Goodness, where's my little book? Whoops, things are falling everywhere. Well, there is a skinny little book that talks about history and how to appropriately cite it. And you're looking at, if you wanted to know where I got some information, it states that Ralph and Mildred Garcia video. I video and interviewed first person individuals for this. I also interviewed, or I picked up a photo album from, look at the year, 1926. That book is in the Hagen Museum, so if you were to go and look for where I got that information in the book, it states where you could get that. Amateur photographer, Ed Lossmith does the history of California and did film footage. This is the best! Some of the people you're researching might have an FBI file. And Homeland Security, bless their hearts, you don't like it very much, but every once in a while they'll give you an FBI investigation this thick. This case number will show you, case is closed, she didn't do anything wrong, my person, but nonetheless, it actually talks about how much she weighed, it talks about what she did, who she was sleeping with, they followed her. All of these rumors that I heard, I mean, the FBI is real serious about following this. This is this thick. There's also a police report where she was arrested for having people come into her office and salute a photo of Mussolini. Well, that just happened to be her boss, who looked a little bit like an Italian guy. But nonetheless, that is in the police file. So these are all things that a good researcher can find. Please finish. Now, as a first person document, Tilly Lewis stated that she was a poor little housewife in 1934 that just happened to jump on a boat and meet this great man who gave her $10,000 and all kinds of money and jewels and things to start a tomato processing plant. This is how she actually looked in 1934. She'd been seeing this guy since 1924. Oops. But during those days, they frowned on that. So as a good researcher, I thought to myself back here, what's this date? Anybody know what was going on this date? Anybody
Great
guess?
Depression.
The Great Depression. What is a little Jewish housewife doing on a boat in 1934 without her husband? It didn't make any sense to me, so I dug. Dig, 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 if you're going to do the research. Flip. This is also her. Do you think that's too much, 1934? I don't know. This is what I was thinking when I looked at these photographs. She's stating that she's sitting eating crackers and bananas on a floor during this time period. During this time period, she's meeting these gals. Go ahead. They didn't like her very much. When she showed up in Stockton in 1934, yikes. These were the ladies who lunched in Stockton, California. So these are things that I can honestly state in my book, that the women of Stockton did not like this lady very much. Now, because I'm running out of time, I'm going to flip through the pictures. Tilly threw a little tea at the Biltmore while those ladies are back in Stockton sitting having their little teas. This is what Tilly Lewis is actually doing. This is her with all of these men. This is something, just really quickly, that a lady said Tilly Lewis stole her lions. Do you see that lion right there? Move. This is what she tells the newspaper, that she got these lions in Florence, Italy. Flip. See this fabulous Chrysler Newport Phaeton in front of one of her mansions? That's where the lion actually came from. It was there all the time, at her mansion in Stockton. Go ahead. This is where she was in 1926. She said she didn't meet this guy until 1934. She's on this boat in 1926. Get research. I found this in her photo album. Go. This is him. He's a black shirt fascist. It's awesome. Wonderful. It's so exciting. Move. This guy gave her this big fat diamond ring, 22 carat. Go ahead. And there she is wearing it over here, yes, through her whole entire life. Go. This is her husband, who didn't mind her being with that guy because he was very, very honest and sweet and nice. And this is her writing with the lover to the husband, "Dear Lou, we're having a great time." Cheers. Go ahead. This also lets you know that she was one of the major funders for food during World War II. Just go quickly. Just go quickly. Just go quickly. Just go quickly. Just give you some idea. Governors. Tasty Diet. This is she developed new food products. Go ahead. This is Rocky Marciano. She knew him. You know who that guy is. Go ahead. You know who that guy is. Hubert Humphrey sent her to this. Go ahead. Arlene Platter, First Lady Port Commissioner. Tilly Lewis. She brought Beverly Sills. And this is the last. Researchers personally re-investigating your theory of a truth with the best information you have available. Find it, look for it, dig for it. And is this Kyle and her dog Prissy? Do you think? There's a picture.
Do some digging on that.
You have to do some digging because no, I don't know that dog, but Carmel Magazine asked me to pose. Please do your research. Thank you very much.